Welcome back to GameSpot's E3 prediction show right here on the lobby. Danny O'Dwyer joined by Chris Waters. Now we've got Martin Gaston from the UK. Say something in an English accent.
Oh, hello.
Thank you, Martin. And of course, Justin Haywald as well.
Yes.
GameSpot news editor.
I don't
Gentlemen,
have a cool accent.
You have a wonderful
You
accent.
have a wonderful, cool accent.
And
I
also
was used to it.
And you know lots about Sony, which is why you have you here. We're going to talk about Sony predictions. They had a pretty good E3 last year. Is that fair to say?
They did.
It was alright.
It's such a. It's still amazing that people are still talking about that, and you know that the PlayStation 4 is just kind of still going from that momentum of basically trouncing the Xbox One, and like everything that Xbox said in their press conference, you know, Sony just came out and said, no DRM. You want to use used games? We're going to do that. Also, here's the price, and it's $100 less than their system, and it's still going strong.
So wasn't it maybe much of a case that last year all Sony really did was react to what Microsoft did badly?
Well, they didn't even have to react. They just went, we're going to stay the same. You know the things you can do on PlayStation 3? That's also what PlayStation 4 does.
We're just not going to blow it like Microsoft did. Hooray!
And they didn't.
No,
They didn't.
They did not blow it.
The best thing I heard at E3 last year, the best, and it's probably not even true at all, is that there was like 100 different slides for that last slide of the price. They had rehearsed all kinds of prices because they were just sitting there waiting for the actual price. So they had it. They could have gone probably down to $5 to $1 million. They had slides for all of it. And as soon as Microsoft put it on, they were like, all right, that one. And they went with that. And I don't know if that's true, but I want it to be true because that's the spirit that Sony has now. And I love that.
Maybe it's more like in sitcoms where you film multiple scenes of an angle or multiple angles for a different scene with different characters just so nobody really knows except for the person on stage who's going to reveal it.
Well, like even the trailer they had where they did the how you share games with your friends, where it was Adam Boyes and Shu just handing the game to each other.
you go.
That was recorded the day before the press conference in the backstage area behind the stage.
We spoke about that at Gamescom, didn't we? And that video has got like millions of views. Like, to put it into perspective, like Sony has teams and teams of people who work full time putting together promotional videos.
And spending millions.
And they sit in meetings for like weeks and weeks going, oh, I guess we'll do this shot and then we'll do this shot. And then suddenly these two executives go, meh. And you're like, boom, and the view counter just shoots
It's like 19
up.
million views or something on YouTube.
It's incredible.
I mean, do you think they could get away with just staying the course? You know, with showing the same kind of ratio of big games to indie games to PlayStation Now to, you know, living room stuff, and then could they just sort of carry it on and not lose their footing?
Well, for me, the PlayStation Now price is something that's going to be really important, and that's someplace where we don't really know what Xbox is going to do. They've been talking about making the Xbox One compatible with, you know, previous games, and the PlayStation's answer has been whatever PlayStation Now is going to be, whatever that price is going to be. And if it's something, you know, that's tied in with PlayStation Plus, which we already have a subscription to, like that'll be awesome, and that will be a huge bombshell. Like you just have access to these games because you're a Plus subscriber, making that even sweeter. But if they make it something, if Xbox comes out and says, and we're going to make all of our XBLA content available if you're an Xbox Live subscriber, but PlayStation goes, and here's a separate service, and it's $20 a month, but you get access to old games. That's not going to be quite the same impact.
Well, let's talk about the actual games, the first-party stuff that they can bring to the table. First of all, I want to talk to Martin about Drive Club. So you went over to the studio only a couple of weeks ago,
I
right?
went to Runcorn.
Where's Runcorn?
It
sounds
in
like a
Liverpool.
planet. Oh, really?
It's in Liverpool.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. How was that?
magical. Did any of you play Drive Club last year?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. It was bad.
Okay.
Bad game. It wasn't fun.
Last year or recently?
Last year at E3
Okay.
last year, it was a bad game.
Okay.
It wasn't fun. The handling was all messed up, and it just didn't have anything. So when they were like, "Oh, do you want to come to Runcorn and play Drive Club?" I was like, "Yes," but when I last played this game, it wasn't very good. And they're like, "Oh, it's better now." And I'm like, whatever. And so, you know, we go up there, and I'm playing it, and I'm like, it's actually better now. It is better now. Now I find hashtag Drivy Club, hashtag Droove Club, I find the whole thing about it a bit difficult.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think with all this like social thing, I don't think that actually really matters.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's to be expected now. That's like an expected feature.
Yeah, multiplayer in some aspects,
Yeah.
or like leaderboards and stuff, is like part and parcel of driving games.
Yeah, so leading on that I think is a bit silly because everyone's going like, oh yeah, well, you know, whatever.
Yeah, driver tires. You know?
Yeah, like, and at least the driver tar things is something, right? That's
Yeah.
something new, so that's something Forza has. But the handling of Drive Club was really fun. It was a fun game to play, and I really want it to do well, because I also believe that if it doesn't do well,
But does Sony
Those guys
really
are in
need?
trouble.
they are out of there.
Do they need another driving franchise like that? They have Gran Turismo, Need for
Yeah.
Speed
Yeah,
does all the
they
arcade
have-
stuff.
They have one Gran Turismo every 17 years, right? And in 2029,
what do
when the new
Polyphony
one comes
do?
out,
It's going to be fantastic.
it's going to be great.
Well, but they'll release 2 demo versions first, full price, and then
Yeah,
eventually
Prologue and Prolapse.
Yeah.
That's what they'll do. But I think an arcade racer is a good thing to have. Like, 'cause the last Need for Speed,
Yeah.
and there's not one coming out this year. I think a first-party arcade racer is a good thing for Sony to have in their stable.
Yeah.
If you will allow me to use that probably horrible executive buzzword.
What's the big one now? Is it Deep Down, or is it Project Beast, or is it Last Guardian? Because all I keep hearing is the Last Guardian is like.
Well, because
seems to be
this
a
is
real
what
good
the-
set for this year.
This is like the 7th year that they haven't talked about The Last Guardian.
But this is the one year where it sounds like it actually might be shown.
It's either there this year,
yeah, or it's gone.
or it's not happening.
Yes, totally. Yeah.
Okay, they either took it away a couple of years ago and said, guys, make it a PS4 game, and PS, try not to, not finish it again, or it's gone.
Yeah.
That is what I believe. I mean, I don't know, but it must be. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. So if it's going to be there,
That would make
it's
sense
gonna be
why
there
it
this
hasn't
year.
been here.
Exactly.
Why they held off on it for so long.
Exactly.
And if it's going to be there, it's going to make a splash. I mean, you could show something that is essentially no longer or more complicated than what we saw so many years ago, and I think people would still freak out with delight and anticipation because they're finally getting it.
Dude, I would feel so wiggly. I would be like, oh my god, I'm freaking out.
That's one of the things that makes this so exciting, though, is that amidst all of these leaks that we've had, that Battlefield Hardline, all of the the whole trailer for that's come out, so many of these games we already know about. Whereas Sony, like, what are these studios working on?
Yeah.
They have so many internal studios. Are they keeping it a secret? That's awesome.
Just got a question here from Morder, who's asking, new God of War, what do you think? Like, what are Sony Santa Monica working on? They have to.
Well, they've got Corey back.
Corey Haim?
Corey-
Haim.
Yeah.
Right?
Cory Booker, actually, mayor of Newark.
It's Balrog, right? It's Balrog. I always know his name is Balrog, and I'm like, no, Balrog is.
Is that
Is it-
monster
is that-
from Lord of the Rings?
Mortal Kombat, that's him. Yeah.
It's a character. I must be wrong with that name, but no, it is. He's got him back. He was like the God of War 2 dude, and God of War 2 is the best one. Right? Like, there's the others.
Yeah.
There's God of War 2, right? So to have him back is really good. And I want it to be a new IP. Like, I want, maybe a spiritual successor or something, but like.
God of War karting.
God of Peace.
Goddess of War.
Goddess of War,
there you go.
fine. God of War karting, fine. Just something, like something new. But they've got him back, and that's got to be exciting.
Well, we talked about exclusives so much with Microsoft.
Yeah.
I mean, what are the Sony exclusives?
Uncharted.
God
then?
of War is a huge one, and of course Uncharted, which we're like all but guaranteed to see a
Yes.
significant amount of.
And don't forget, with this Uncharted, now that they've got Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley back,
Yeah.
and they're overseeing it, they can now go from the creators of The Last of Us.
Oh
They
yeah,
can
yeah,
now go
yeah.
from the creators of The Last of Us, the new Uncharted. Because I actually think what's happened now is The Last of Us is the bigger game.
Yeah, I think it's got
Right?
more cachet with core gamers anyway.
And you have everyone going, oh no, the creators of oh my god.
But I don't
Like-
want more Last of Us. Like, I want that to be a standalone experience that's just
yeah.
there. Like,
Yeah.
that was a great experience. Now, please do something different.
I think tonally they're pretty much like on opposite ends of the spectrum as well. One's like this bombastic action trope, or adventure, and then the other one is a depressing slog. Of
Well, and there's so many
emotional-
things they're going to be able to take from that work really well in The Last of Us, like
Yeah.
from the shooting mechanics.
Yeah, mechanically it's wonderful.
and putting those in Uncharted, like, oh, finally, you're going to fix all of these things that I
Really,
hated
you
about
don't want
Uncharted.
you want Drake to be more of a like really got to work hard to like land a shot, not his like freewheeling like pop it up.
I don't want to walk into a room and go,
style.
oh, here's 50 enemies that you have to kill. Oh, no, then 40 more. Yeah, just kind of.
Speaking of walking into
Yeah.
a room and killing 50 enemies, will there be a new Killzone this year?
I hope not.
No.
No?
I hope not. One, because I don't like Killzone.
What are Guerrilla working on then?
They've been working on a new IP for ages.
Okay.
Like they've been saying, oh, we've got our new IP, guys, since like 2010. Like, they've been doing this a long time, so it better be good.
Last Guardian.
It's actually set on Helgas. It's the last Guardian of Helgas.
Except now it's actually the Guardian animal thing is actually some sort of Nazi, and
you have to kill it.
You blow up its home planet, but you're the good guys.
And you wear its head.
So it doesn't matter.
That story worked really well for Killzone. I don't see why they would not want to
exactly,
replicate it. Yeah.
The rich fiction of
Genocide,
Killzone.
right?
It's so hot right now.
Super.
Hashtag
Killzone
genocide.
3.
Killzone coming soon. Okay, Dark Souls ripoffs. Project Beast Deep Down. Maybe it's unfair to say that about those games.
Project Beast is
Well, no,
the most,
you can't call it a ripoff. It's from software.
Yeah, it's from.
From.
Yeah.
it's the most exciting game I've seen in ages, and all I've seen is some weird gifts.
Yeah.
So
4chan leaks.
I am so ready to see that game, and that's a very E3 game, if you ask me, because look at all of us sitting there watching E3. Well, that's the kind of game that would be made to appeal to us. That is again, Tom McShay.
It's not for the newspapers.
Tom McShay will be doing backflips around the GameSpot.
He gets so agile whenever Dark Souls is mentioned.
He will be
It's
losing
incredible.
his mind.
If that happens and Spelunky 2 is announced for Vita, he might just lose his goddamn mind. I'm trying to think what else.
Well, one thing I don't think we're going to see at all is Project Morpheus. We saw that, at GDC.
Do you think they're not going to show much
Not
about
going to
it?
show it at all, huh?
No, if they do, maybe it'll be over at the booth. Like, you can try out the thing that we showed off at GDC, but
So for the
it's
people who
still
don't know,
early.
this is their virtual reality headset proprietary one that they're making themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Has there been much in the way of discussions about how that is going to be specifically for the PlayStation
Yes.
infrastructure?
Well-
Are they going to go down the PC route, or is it?
They haven't talked about it a lot. I would assume that this is going to be a PlayStation 4 only kind of device. This isn't
Yeah.
going to be coming to PC, but we don't really know.
Presumably,
but it's Sony.
though, if they're doing that, then they're going to have to, like the Kinect, they're going to have to make software reasons for people to buy it. Like they're going to have to start making games that are made either specifically for, or at least are additive with the Morpheus. Do you see that being a section in the press conference, maybe?
Not at the press conference. I think the press conference is going to focus on the more immediate, the now and the 2015. And this stuff isn't going to be ready by 2015. Even Oculus isn't.
I just don't think we'll see any Morpheus. In fact, what I think we'll do is they'll talk about how well the PlayStation has done. They'll have a new slide.
No, they can't do the numbers thing again. They stopped doing that last year, where they
No,
spent
they'll be
15
like-
minutes of pie charts.
They'll
They won't
show
do
some
15
numbers.
minutes. They will just go.
Their numbers are too good not to
They'll go,
show.
Sold,
Yeah,
they'll go,
that's
it's sold 9 million. No, it's cost 9 million. No, let's move on. But 9 million. It's been
Shipped and sold.
Yeah, and then they will just move on. So they'll update with that, and they'll talk about how they've got the present sorted, and there will be a bit and we're also we're investing in the future, and then like a Morpheus thing will appear in the background, and we're still sort of making it, so they'll move on to
Lawrence Fishburne will come out sitting on a chair that is not looking dissimilar to this one.
A man can
and
dream.
say, yeah, well, he likes to shill. Last year there was a bunch of weird indie games that came out of nowhere. That Shadow of the Beast announcement was the strangest thing I've ever
Gamescom.
seen in my life at Gamescom.
Yeah.
What other do you think there's going to be any more weird indie stuff?
Oh,
Really
absolutely.
do,
It's all going to be AAA indies now.
But I'm wondering, is there going to, because there's a lot of indie games that at the moment have like No Man's Sky, which nobody knows what platform they're coming out on. Do you think it might be a thing where both Microsoft and Sony are going to try and grab some of those for timed exclusives?
I really do.
Oh, definitely. And indies were such a huge part of their messaging last year. They're going to continue to embrace that. I think we're going to see even more cool indie stuff that both Microsoft and Sony have been able to snatch up. And I really don't want it to be exclusive. I want it to come to as many platforms as possible because I want to be able to play it on everything.
Well, I think the phrase timed exclusive is totally one we're going to hear a lot, or at least is going to be true about a lot of games this year. Because I feel like with so many of these indie games, you're past the point where one company is just buying them outright.
Yeah.
There's like, look, on the balance, if we can get exclusivity for the first 3 months, and that's when people are hyped about it, that's going to give us a significant share. And then, who knows what the business logic is behind it for the creator and for the publisher. But I think timed exclusives are much more a thing that you see with this caliber game, and certainly something that both these two big publishers are going to be leaning hard into for E3.
But just when you'd have like Geometry Wars 2 and Shadow Complex and other games, I'm forgetting now because there's lots of lights on me. Trials HD, when Summer Arcade was good, it was so good. And I know this is the Sony bit, but just for either of those things, maybe Sony can have Autumn of PlayStation Store or whatever, I don't know, but like something. Fall, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
And we're not going to know what's good until we get there. Like, those are the games you have to try out. Like, you see the demo and you're like, well, that's kind of quirky and fun. But then you play it and you're like, oh my god, this is so awesome.
Cool. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on, talking a bunch of Sony mess. Microsoft and Sony are probably going to be the most interesting out of the two of them, especially after what happened last year.